Dude, this looks good.
Yeah, it does.
We look good. Okay, so
Why do we look like we're like in like a fake bad background? Like we set up this whole brick wall and be like here. There's not. Damn.
I was thirsty, man. I've been running up and down these steps, getting stuff set up. You have your pen, right?
Yeah. Enjoy you.
We got notebooks because we're cool like that. Listen, on our debut episode, there was a lot of course, the ringer on this thing's on.
There's a lot of discourse, all right, about our setup and what we did. I thought we would make it pretty known that our setup was pretty bad, but people obviously did not watch the full episode and what we talked about. But we're back, with Mike's. It's all a work in progress. We came back. We just wanted to give some content to people before everything, but we're slowly making adjustments. Things are going to slowly change more and more. Hopefully things will change bigly in more big ways in the future. But
I feel like it looks good.
It does look good. I think we look
good. Look at us. We're just two sexy beasts.
All right,
making a podcast together.
Calm it down.
Okay, but hey, listen. I said some controversial things in the last episode. We did something called a confession session where we shared some unpopular opinions. Very, very unpopular opinions. And I was kind of booed off the internet. I received death threats for saying that Tobey Maguire was the worst live-action Spider-Man. People told me I should burn because I said that Ryan Gosling was overrated. Listen, I'd like to come on and say it. While I stand by a lot of what I said in the last episode, I would like to apologize to Ryan Gosling because I respect his commitment to his role as Ken. His method acting is genuinely terrifying. This man has embodied Ken in real life, and I respect the commitment. So I'd like to apologize to Ryan Gosling. I did watch Beautiful Boy to open up my Timothée Chalamet horizon because that was another actor I said was overrated. People said you should watch Beautiful Boy. Watch Beautiful Boy. I did. If you've never seen the movie, you should watch it. It's a really beautiful movie. Do I think Timothée Chalamet was amazing? No. Do I think he was respectable? Yes. I think Steve Carell was the best part of that movie. But it was good. I've opened my horizon. I am sorry for offending you guys, but in reality, that was the whole point. You fell for our scam. We got views. We got follows. All right? There's no such thing as bad publicity. This was all part of the plan.
I want to remind you all that if he goes down, I do not go down with him. This is not the Titanic or the Ocean Gate submarine. I simply we stand on rafts that are floating by each other.
Speaking of which, I saw Mission Impossible this past week, and I will not get into spoilers here, but I had a crazy experience with this movie because the beginning of the movie is about a submarine going down. Like, this kickstarts the entire plot. I'm like, Tom Cruise.
He knew.
He saw into the future.
No, he was a part of it. He made it happen.
It was the Mission Impossible.
He was like, y'all, I got to make another movie.
I have something to admit. I've seen a lot of movies in my life. Been to hundreds of movies, more or less. I live and breathe in the movie theater. Never once have I gotten up early or left a theater to use the restroom, to go get snacks, to answer a phone call. I consume the whole experience. 99% of the time, I am in my seat from the start to the very end of the credits. I had a stomach ache while I was watching Mission Impossible.
What'd you eat?
And I don't even remember. I didn't feel good, okay? And I was like, oh my God, I have to use the restroom.
Every time I go to the movies, I get me a nice batch of chili cheese fries, y'all.
Chili cheese fries.
It will upset your stomach. It hasn't upset mine during the movie, but it will do it.
I think it was the icy that did it to me. I was like, man, I finished my icy in the first 5 minutes. I could feel it.
Did you get the Sprite one?
No, I got
back, right?
They do have it back, but I got a Coke. Coke is the way to go. It might have been Coke and cherry.
You know what's a scam, y'all? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem movie is coming out, and they have an icy releasing, but it's only going to AMC, which is really weird because IC is its own separate thing.
AMC gets all the cool stuff. We don't have an AMC near us. We're Cinemark guys. Cinemark, step up your game. No, but Mission Impossible, it's crazy because I really had to use the restroom. I was like, I just gotta go. Gotta go. Why did Tom Cruise start running with his Tom Cruise run and the Mission Impossible music started playing as soon as I got up from my seat? I was going down the stairs, Tom Cruise style, to get to the bathroom, to get back. I had the soundtrack playing.
I don't want to make any like extra noise.
Yeah.
On this thing.
Anyways, yeah. So I missed about 5 minutes of Mission Impossible, but it's okay because I don't think I missed much. I really, really like the movie, dude. This movie is so like no one does suspense like Mission Impossible.
Mhm.
The line in the trailer is so awesome. Where he's like, "If anything happens to either one of them, there's no place you can go where I won't kill you." And like 5 minutes later, there's like AI takeover in his mic, and he's all over the place. It's crazy. This movie it feels really timely with the submarine, the AI takeover, but the suspense is so real, and Tom Cruise is just him. I'm convinced that Tom Cruise is just him.
I haven't seen a lot of Mission Impossible movies, and I don't know if I'll go see the new one, because I'm just not a huge Mission Impossible guy. It's not my style. It's not up my alley. But I'll think about it definitely.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go see it because yes, we are movie buffs, and yes, we do see a lot of movies. But a lot of times, if I simply don't think a movie is like worth what I want, and it's not what I want to go see, I just won't go see it, guys. So I'm not getting paid. The day somebody pays me, the day somebody tells me, "Hey, you get invited to this movie premiere," I'll see any movie. But that day is not today.
Because we don't make that kind of money. Someone said on TikTok this past week, we've been sharing a lot of clips, and first off, I'm extremely appreciative of just the response. We've been gaining followers, we've been gaining traction. People are talking about the show, and that's awesome.
And people say a new. So I saw a comment that said a new podcast. So now I don't know what that meant. That could have been very contradicting. Yeah. Right?
Someone called us.
Whoever said that, I hope you actually think this is dope.
Yeah, someone called us their favorite low-income podcast, and I don't know how to take that, but they follow us now.
Well, considering that our banner is up on that with duct tape, then
can we just talk about how this thing is still standing?
Yeah,
it has been almost a week since we did the last episode. This thing is hanging on.
We posted a new video, our cereal skit about me pouring my milk first before my cereal.
Ridiculous.
Pebbles sponsor us, but you know who we don't want to sponsor us? Gorilla Glue, because you are liars.
Yeah, Gorilla Glue sucks.
Gold-faced liars. Now, if you do in the future decide to change your mind, we will still be open. But you don't stick to brick walls.
We like money.
You don't stick to brick walls like you say you should. All right, you're scammers. You're liars, and we don't like you unless you want to pay us.
It's all a lie. It's all a scam. What if I told you we're him, though? Well, we're them. We're just built different because you see all these sauces here.
We're literally built different.
It's an explosive week for content, and we are taking the heat up to an extraordinary level with the Hot Ones Gauntlet. That's right. The First We Feast show hosted by Sean Evans with hot wings and even hotter questions. We're taking on the Hot Ones challenge in the second half of the video. For now, I'm always dropping stuff. Like, I can never just go 5 minutes without dropping stuff that I need for the podcast. Are you ready, Justin?
I am ready.
Are you ready? Cue the intro. I will say it is a really hard time to be a content creator, to be doing a podcast. There's a lot of heat towards content creators right now during the SAG-AFTRA and writer strikes.
Yeah.
I want to clarify before we talk about anything on this show. We are aspiring creative minds. We are aspiring filmmakers and actors, and we stand with those people. All of the power should not be in the hands of these billion-dollar executives. But at the same time, we're fans of movies, and we're going to talk about things. None of it is intended to be promotional. None of it is intended to bring light to these struck companies whatsoever.
But we do want to acknowledge the people who actually took time out of their lives and out of their families' lives to go and actually just make these movies. You know, it's not easy making a movie. It's not easy to show up on set every day and do what you want for multiple days at a time. So we want to be able to make sure that we're actually supporting those people who made the content, who put their life's work into it. Like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise doesn't go on these sets to risk his life just for people to like one off at these big companies screw him over. No, he wants the right. Well, that's why everybody's on strike because they want us to enjoy these movies. They want everybody. They want to enjoy making these movies themselves and making the money, and they
Oh my
don't
gosh.
just want these big companies to be able to take it all. I actually had to do a speech. Right, I'm in a speech class in my college, and it's called public speaking.
Yeah.
And actually, we've done an introduction speech, and I had recently do an informational speech, and I did it on the SAG-AFTRA and WGA strikes.
That's really cool. How is life for you? How is school going and everything?
School, it's interesting. It's just a lot of meeting over and over with people, making sure that everything's in order, and then people tell you stuff is not in order, and then you reach out to one person and they tell you everything's fine. Then you reach out to another and they're like, change this, and then you know, it's very stressful, but it'll be enjoyable. For the first year of my whole entire college thing, I did what I really wanted to do, and I was able to do short film contest and everything. But now I'm in this whole stage of getting the credits and stuff that I need as far as maths and sciences and English. So nobody really wants to do that. That's not the fun part. But the fun part is when you actually get to do what you want to do. And I'll get back to that point eventually.
It's kind of hot and sweaty in here. I'm wearing this uncomfortable Barbenheimer shirt. Had to represent. But I quickly wanted to give a quick shout out to some people that left some supportive comments and left some questions for us to answer. Because we are slowly building a community, and that's awesome. And there are some people in that community that stood out the past week. So first off, we have, let's see here. Let me pull up comments. I never know how to pull up comments of these things anymore. Okay. We have Gael the Human, 1290, says he's Team Barbie. He also says, y'all should talk about your guys' thoughts on the new Street Fighter and what it means for fighting games as the year comes. We didn't do much gaming stuff on the last podcast episode, but we are big gamers. Mm-hmm. Big gamers in more ways than one. But have you played? You said you tried out the new Street Fighter. Right?
I have, yeah. I went over a friend of mine's house and I played the game, and honestly, it's pretty fun. Because I don't think Street Fighter, we didn't get into it, but I don't think they have like a minor story, but they don't have like a huge story like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place.
And so it's really it really is just like it really is just a fighting game, and I really do. I enjoy fighting games, like honestly, a lot. When you like can do it with your friends and you have that kind of competition going back and forth, right? And it's also just one of those games where you can go over to your friend's house, and if you have two controllers, you can play it. Which not a lot of games like have that nowadays. Yeah. Like there's no more like split screen games anymore. You ever think about that?
Not really.
There's no more just
no split screen is dead.
Bottom. Yeah, it's kind of sad. You think about it. Like there's no more just like let me go to my homie's house and play a game. Like let me stay at my house and play the game. And, Street Fighter is just keeping that alive though. Street Fighter is keeping it alive.
Street Fighter is fun, man. The new one is just taking it to the next level. But the Street Fighter franchise, the bottom line is that it's fun. Yeah. I'm a big Mortal Kombat guy myself. Mortal Kombat 2011, Mortal Kombat 9 is one of my favorite games of all time. And they are releasing a new one later this year, Mortal Kombat 1. It's a reboot of the whole thing, a whole new timeline. I'm really excited for that. Graphically, these fighting games have been insane. We're leaving the retro arcade style of video games into a whole new era of fighting games. And I think that's pretty cool. You know what fighting game I'm very curious about?
Which one?
If it's ever going to be able to get its feet back on the ground. Multiverses.
Yeah, that game had so much potential, y'all. You don't understand. I played it for a while, and I was really getting into it, and I really enjoyed it. But after a while of promises just not being fulfilled, I think like after so many months, we still didn't have like a shop or like a settings screen. It was like coming soon. It was coming soon for months. You just didn't get it, and then like the official stuff would release, and they released season 2 without even having everything up, and so then you kind of just like leave yourself. You're like, oh, okay, I'm tired of this. But I did play a lot of it, and it was good. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think for each character, they had special moves for their like character type. You know, when it comes to games like Mortal Kombat and stuff, like yeah, these characters are who they are, but they take the like less cartoony factor, right? Like when you get characters like Shaggy and Garnet from Steven Universe, all these characters kind of have this like cartoony feel to them.
Yeah.
We need to add Uncle Grandpa to that thing.
Imagine how crazy that would be.
He would break the world.
Uncle Grandpa is just the fact that Uncle Grandpa even happened is such a crazy thing.
Genuinely, that show was really hated. Honestly, it was just hated by like older people. Like like there's this stage in which like you grow up to where like there's a channel you watched, and then once you like grow older, you kind of like stop watching that channel. But then like all the new shows kind of flood, and you're like, oh, this is trash. But it's not for you. It's for your younger self. But you can't really accept that because you're like growing up and getting out of that whole entire thing. But yeah,
one of my guilty pleasures is that when I'm falling asleep at night, I'll turn on some of the shows from our childhood, like these Cartoon Network or Disney Channel shows, and I'm sitting there like, man, I'm just enjoying what's storytelling is so complex nowadays.
Yeah.
And not like nowadays in terms of time, but nowadays in terms of our minds. Mm-hmm. Like we are looking for so much more in movies and shows now. But back then, when we were kids, we didn't care about that stuff.
Yeah, no, nowadays, I can't even watch a show without getting any backstory. When I was younger, I used to just watch like Dragon Ball Z used to just come on the TV. I used to just watch whatever episode it was, not caring. It was like big explosions, everybody moving. I'm still like saying big explosions please my mind, but it's not like I feel like nowadays it's kind of like, all right, what happened before this? I need to look some prior information. Like I can't just jump into this episode. Like I need to know what happened. Then you get yourself down a whole rabbit hole of like 50 seasons of a show, and then you're just like, Jesus Christ, I don't even feel like watching this anymore.
I've tried to commit to a lot of shows recently. It's so hard for me because when you click play on that first episode, if you aren't hooked, it's just like, why do I want to do this? And if the first episode doesn't hook me, I find it so hard to get up and keep pushing through. That's why there are certain shows. For example, in my anime journey recently, One Piece was something that stood out to me. People are always talking about One Piece, but they say, get through the first 300 episodes and you'll be fine. Like you'll enjoy it. What? I don't have the kind of life where I can just sit down and watch 300 episodes of something that I'm not enjoying. It really has to grip me right away. I've been getting into Avatar: The Last Airbender. I mean, I watched a little bit when I was a kid, but I never committed to the full story, and you're always talking about it. Mm-hmm. And now I'm having a blast. I love these characters. I love the show. Also, beyond Gael the Human, Keegan, in our comment section on the last video, these guys are awesome. They took time out of their day to watch and comment. Really appreciate that. But they said, you guys should talk about the Batman Arkham games if you're interested. Are we interested?
Yeah, no, Batman Arkham, like, honestly, like, I don't even know, those games are kind of like ahead of their time. Like, they still go up to contender, right? Every time you get in somebody's comment section, you're like, this is the best comic book game, and then you got somebody in the comments saying, like, don't forget Batman Arkham Knight. But I think those games are, like, really good. I think with what they do, I think I've played 2 of them, and like I've enjoyed them because I think one of them's free with PlayStation.
Yeah, it was Arkham Knight.
Yeah, and I think that those games are like just really interesting in how like each iteration takes on their characters.
Well, Batman is obviously such an iconic character. With the Arkham games, you can spend more time with that story, more time with all these villains, and more time with Gotham. And it so really is the most expansive version of Batman. And the Arkham games are incredible. Arkham Knight is another game that I'd say is at the top of the list for just superhero games. The Batmobile stuff is incredible. Driving around, taking enemies with the Batmobile. Batmobile feels like a character of its own. And it's disappointing that in a lot of Batman productions, we don't really get that. The Batman is like the closest we've gotten to. Feels like the Batmobile is a character of its own.
Do you think we can ever get a like story game in which they don't have like super tedious side missions that you have to do?
No.
Like I need somebody to make one.
Like it's just a demand from studios.
There's always something you have to collect. the most annoying thing I think anybody who's played the Spider-Man game should know is there's these like you've played a bit of the Spider-Man game, right? Or have you played it all the way through?
Yeah.
You
No,
played it all the way
I
through?
have not played the original all the way through. I
Okay.
know the entire game. I've
Yeah,
seen the entire
but
game.
it's just
I've
like
not played it.
those the little science lab things, and when you have to like connect the little brackets to make the energy flow to
Right.
another. Those are the most tedious things ever, right? And you sit there just trying to do it for like ever, and then finally they give you an option to skip it. Like at some point, I'm just waiting for the option to like skip past this entire thing. And I'm just like, okay, skip, because why do I want to sit here and play this? Like
Batman Arkham Knight is notorious for there's these Riddler side quests.
I know.
And
oh my, it's just like
just so frustrating. Like I can't believe I'm sitting here doing this.
There's like such tedious. Just one game, please. Anybody, any game developer out there, just make a game.
I think it's hard for me because I hate being a loser. Like I want to conquer everything there is to conquer in a game, but then you get to these side quests that are just built to challenge you, to break you, and it ruins my experience with the game. I've never personally been like a 100%er of any video game. I don't commit to 100% something, but I do try to get as much of the game done as possible. Sometimes that is a pain.
I almost have
stealth in Spider-Man is terrible.
I almost have Spider-Man 100%ed, but the thing is, I can't 100% the game because I won't put myself through that. Screwball, there are screwball missions, right? In order for you to get, you have to get spectacular or higher on all screwball like hideouts.
Yeah.
And I just can't put myself through that. Her missions are like literally the worst in that game out of anybody. Like Screwballs is legitimately, I don't know if like this is in any gameplay that you watch because it's literally just like side stuff that you have to do. But Screwball is top tier, probably like the worst character.
Yeah, I think if Screwball is in the second one, people are going to riot.
She's gonna be in the second one. She's gonna be in it.
There will be riots in the streets.
There will be.
Also, on top of, we were talking about Batman Arkham, Trenton, my main man Trenton over on TikTok, he knows who he is. He's the best. He asked us who the best live action Batman is, which is a big question, and your answer is
hold on, because I gotta think about this.
I know it's a big one to throw at you.
You know what's crazy? He's not my favorite, so don't take this. But
Batfleck, is that what's up about?
Batfleck, I really like his suit. His suit is my favorite out of any of the Batmans. I like his like.
Yeah, I don't think Ben Affleck deserves all the hate he gets.
I like his shorter type ears. And I like that super big bat logo that he has. I think it's really cool.
Right.
And his suit's all around dope. I don't agree with what he does as far as like branding people, because that's kind of weird. I don't know why you do that. But Snyder's a weird dude. He really did like try to I think what his whole thing was, he tried to like encapsulate the whole like Batman's this like menace of the dark type of thing, and he kind of just like took it to the next extreme. It made this dude like a psychopath.
Personally, for me, I don't think Ben Affleck is the problem with that Batman at all. I think Zack Snyder is the problem.
Ben Affleck is fine, but like he can play Batman, but it's just like
Snyder fans, don't kill us. My hands are up. My hands are up.
Please, no. We look. I'm not gonna sit here right and say that like Snyder's the worst ever. Okay, but I just don't like his movies personally.
I'm not a huge fan of his style either. My personal favorite Batman, and I will say Robert Pattinson has the chance to steal this throne. With more movies, Robert Pattinson could really encapsulate me as a Batman fan because Batman is one of my favorite heroes. As is for a lot of people. I think that's a really generic thing to say. But Batman is awesome. Christian Bale.
No, yeah.
The Christopher Nolan trilogy, Christian Bale is my Bruce Wayne. He is my Batman.
I can't really get behind the whole let me go back. Robert Pattinson, I think, has potential with his second movie. They need to kind of delve into this this like, what do you call it? Billionaire playboy lifestyle of his. And people talked about that before, how right now this is just kind of him getting into the Batman and him developing that entire thing. But next we get into this whole like Bruce Wayne needs to be a centerpiece so that they don't suspect what he's doing in his after hours type of thing. Yeah. So he needs to become like that whole thing. Once he becomes that, you know how you've seen all of the Dark Knights and everything, and how he has that whole like, I'm buying the hotel Like we're not doing. Like he just, he kind of needs to get into that whole style, and I think he can. Like I think you've seen the those like photo shoots of Robert Pattinson. That man can play a billionaire playboy if he wanted to. So they need to kind of just give him that role in the second.
I'm actually convinced that Robert Pattinson is Batman, like in real life.
Yeah,
I just think he's Robert Pattinson by day,
Batman by night,
or Batman by day and Robert Pattinson by night. That seems more likely because Robert Pattinson can only come out at night.
True.
I couldn't imagine seeing this man in daylight.
I really enjoyed the Batman. Like seeing him in like the break of day was kind of cool. Like you never see Batman in like light time, but at that moment, that entire movie was like, I'm vengeance, I'm vengeance, I'm vengeance, and he was like, I can't just be vengeance. I need to be a symbol for these people. And we kind of see him out just helping people in the daytime. That's not anything you really see with.
And it sucks that we may not get any news for quite some time. That's one thing that's been confusing me a lot with the SAG-AFTRA strikes. A big event is coming up, San Diego Comic-Con, where normally at these panels we get a lot of news for upcoming projects. Is that all out the window now?
It might be, and like I'm not all that scared because it's like I said, I need these actors to do what they need to do, and like as long as this has to go on for them to realize that they can't just keep treating the actors the way that they do, then however long that needs to happen, then it needs to happen for.
What it will be at, what will be going down at SDCC is our first look at The Walking Dead, Rick and Michonne. We are huge Walking Dead fans. That's been a huge part of my life. Dead City's going on right now. Then we have Daryl Dixon, all this new content. But it hit me the other day. This has actually been a huge conversation on Twitter with Pedro Pascal being nominated for me. Andrew Lincoln was never nominated for any awards during his run as Rick Grimes.
And that's a load of horse crap, you guys.
That should be a crime.
I don't know if you know, Rick Grimes is literally my all-time favorite character. Like if you put him up, like everybody, all the characters in the world.
If we did a bracket right now with a bunch of different main characters,
Rick Grimes would be right there at number one top because I love him. I think his character development, I think his just everything about him is just so top tier. Like that man, like you see him go through this entire thing with losing his family, and he goes through this whole cycle of officer friendly. Then we get this whole version this is a dictatorship, and then you kind of get the whole okay,
and none of it's out of nowhere. There's these little things that happen in the series that just slowly turn Rick into an entirely new entity from episode 1 to the end.
And it's crazy too because you get season 9 and you're like, okay, this guy's done. He's able to settle down. He has Judith in his arms. He has Michonne, and he's being there. Then he gets impaled, and then he's off the show. Then he gets lifted off, and we saw the cut at the end of season 11. Rick is just back. No more shaved cut. He's back. That's just the Survivor style Rick that we know.
A man trying to find his family has to be the most dangerous man there is.
Rick doesn't get a break. He's not a big character, and I absolutely love him, and I'll never.
And no matter what anyone says about The Walking Dead, I know there was a rough patch. I know it wasn't what it was in its prime, but the characters and what these characters go through is unmatched storytelling, and I will be there for every new thing.
And I think we're getting people back. I think
there's been a lot of conversation about it recently.
No, after Glenn died, the viewership dropped huge. People were what the actual what's going on? People didn't want to watch this show. People hated it. People were off it, and that lasted all the way up to season 11. Nobody really wanted to watch this show. But with the newfound shows, with Dead City, and then we have Daryl Dixon, and now with the new Rick show, you get people wanting to know what happened, and that's when they're going to go back and watch all the old stuff that led up to this point. You kind of probably get people who realize, okay, maybe I shouldn't have left, maybe I was overreacting. This is actually a good show. I mean, obviously it has its really rough patches, like you said, and I'm not going to take away from that. There's some points of the show where I just really didn't want to watch it, and some seasons where I was just this is really just dead. Walking Dead. But anyways,
we ain't The Walking Dead.
But anyways, yeah, I think people are getting back into it, and I'm really happy. It's nice to be able to share a fandom, but it's going to be sad because it's when we say goodbye to The Walking Dead, it was like, man, that was rough. But you know, we knew we had these shows. When these shows are off, it's like, what happens next?
You know what our goal should be?
What?
By the time this show comes out, we should be big enough where we can have Andy Lincoln himself
I was
sitting at this table.
Andrew Lincoln, you guys, Andrew Lincoln, like that man is like, I don't know. He's just not spotted everywhere. He's not a man who's just like at places. He's mysterious. So if we can get him on the show, it'd be crazy.
We'd be the guys to do it.
We'd be him.
We'd be him. We'd love to get special guests on, whether it be people that are in the industry or people that talk about the industry in terms of influencers, content creators. I know there was kind of some drama on TikTok earlier. A guy was comparing us to the Escape Pod podcast. Yeah. We're our own people, we're our own nerds. We've been doing this podcast for a while. But we do love the Escape Pod, and I know Alex, aka Hack Guy, said he'd love to come on the show. So if you're watching this, hey, Escape Pod X the Fragmented Zone, that'd get views.
Yeah, and guys, like, also we are also just like unapologetically us every day. Me and Jeremy, we talk about stuff every single day. Well,
I don't know. Unapologetically is kind of crazy because I had to apologize a little bit.
Yeah, but like we are very much like, this is who we are, this is who we've always been. We're not trying to copy anybody at all. The name The Fragmented Zone was a thing way back 4 years ago. Yeah. When I tried to make something else, and then Jeremy was like, there's been talk about
Did your laptop just die?
No. I wanna. Oh wait. Let me see what I can just do.
Well, what of our life technical difficulties. I just hit that power button. Hit mode at the bottom. There we go. Okay. So that's what happens when you're recording in one take.
Yeah, where are we at?
Where were we at? We were talking about being ourselves.
The Fragmented Zone, it's been a thing. Me and Jeremy have been talking about wanting to make content for the longest. And finally, it was just able to come all together, and we're just bringing our... Oh, Jesus Christ, what was that? We're just bringing our personality on screen for you guys, so we're not trying to copy anybody else.
We're just here to have some fun, guys. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, I have something to announce. I told Justin that I wanted to do something like this. I have the perfect idea now. So we launched a Patreon where you get exclusive content in exchange for financially supporting our channel. If you subscribe to the $10 tier, you get early access. You get new content, including our After Hours series and some other stuff that I wanted to do. You get priority for questions and comments to be featured on the show. You get a look into the Fragmented Zone like never before. And then we have the Helmsman tier. You can look at that through the description below, or just go to patreon.com/the Fragmented Zone. To our first 10 patrons, I have the opportunity for you, because we are doing a giveaway. Check this out. One of our first 10 patrons. So jump on this now. No matter how long you subscribe, one of the first 10 people to join our Patreon will be entered to win this giveaway. So first off, we have an autographed Funko Pop. We have El Animal Indestructible, signed by Wolverine voice actor Steve Bloom, known for his many years in the animation industry, from Cowboy Bebop to Tank Dempsey. Also portrays Logan in so many different Marvel animated projects. Signed, inscribed, and JSA certified. Plus, you'll be walking away with an unopened bottle of the Last Dab hot sauce and some exclusive TFZ merch. So I think that sounds like a great idea. Go join our Patreon. I mentioned earlier my guilty pleasure of watching like old cartoons. Do you have any guilty pleasures? Any like crazy guilty pleasures?
As far as like media wise, or just like in general? Because I really like the smell of gasoline. And I don't know why.
What did you just say?
I like the smell of gasoline. I don't really know why I like it, but I do. It's like, I'm like, gasoline.
I think that's like quite the way to divide the world. The people that like the smell of gasoline.
People who hate it.
And people who hate it.
Yeah, those people are odd.
I hate it.
Really? You hate the smell of gasoline?
I'm looking into your eyes right now, and you look like you want to murder me.
Well, no. If you don't like the smell of gasoline, that's only I'm not over here like you guys should love it. No.
You know what a guilty pleasure of mine is?
What?
You know, these are people we should get on the show. I'm obsessed with Wordle TikTokers. There's like a group of people, a group of friends that do Wordle videos. And I'll sit and I'll scroll and I'll watch all of their Wordle and other New York Times Games videos. I still play Wordle. You know what? I'm going to admit that on the podcast. I've been playing Wordle since it started. Okay? I still play Wordle every single day. It challenges my brain.
I've never played Wordle, but I am. Well, I can say that I have played Wordle. Like I'm not a Wordle player every night, but I am pretty good at Wordle. Right? Jeremy challenged me one time.
Okay.
He was like, I bet you can't. What did you say? You said, I bet I can't get in under what?
I don't remember.
Yeah, Jeremy was like, I bet you can't get it in under like 5.
You probably did.
And I got it in 1.
You're just a lucky guy.
I'm just him. That's the point of the matter.
One last thing I want to talk about before we get into the hot ones, and you can also add anything you want. I wanted to talk about, because while this is sitting here, which you could win, by the way, set that off to the side. What's going on with Funko recently, man? I don't know if you... So our concern started when the app went down. Mm-hmm. The app went down. It's still acting up to this day. They've now completely recycled their Funko, their Fun Days memberships, and replaced it with like a reward system that doesn't even work properly. Brian Mariotti, the CEO, has taken a leave of absence as of last week, right on the heels of San Diego Comic-Con. There are pops going live and just disappearing off of websites.
There's with no explanation either. No apology, no. Mm-mm.
We have pops back here. I've been watching this company grow into something, a force of nature in the collector's industry. And now it feels like we're witnessing the downfall in a way.
Yeah, me and Jeremy, we have early pops, like where they were like, pops nowadays, they have this more square design to them. They have this more, it's not fully a square, but they have like a square type texture. Me and Jeremy, we've been collecting since they had these like super like small kind of oval shaped faces and everything. And, back when the designs were simply just like out like this and they had no structure to them whatsoever. It was just like simple plain design, But now, you get each year you get more and more complex designs, more and more different type of boxes, but how long will that go on for? This is great time to be a Funko collector.
Absolutely. I'm stealing your pen real quick, because to be honest, I don't know what happened to my pen. It fell into a black hole and it's gone. So, all right, let's get hot. It's hot ones time. This thing literally says careful around the eyes. We're going to try not to die. We're going to try not to die. We've got our chicken. Here's how this is going to go. 10 questions each about ourselves. You get it right, you don't have to eat that sauce. You get it wrong, you got to eat the sauce. I think that's pretty straightforward. If you don't understand, then oh well. First up, we have the classic. This is the season 19 lineup, by the way, so it's a little out of date. I've had a couple of these. Have you ever had any of these? Mm-mm. No, so this is Justin's first time. Obviously, it starts out
and I'm a pro.
Mild. It gets hot.
None of these are going to affect me.
I'm not necessarily a pro. I'm not going to go there, but I'm a hot guy. I'm a hot sauce guy. That's why I have these in the first place. I love hot sauce. I love hot ones. Let's see. Let's put ourselves through this. Okay. I'll ask you first, then you ask me. So my first question, I need you to name 3 of my favorite childhood cartoons.
Okay.
And I have a whole list in my head of what you could say. Just give me 3.
Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ben 10, and one more, but I can't
There's a couple of options here. You got the 2 easy ones. Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ben 10. That was my life.
Those were easy. But, I really like. I feel like those are like the two that you always talk about. So
Uh-huh.
like maybe Spectacular Spider-Man.
No,
No,
no, I'm
then
not. I'm not really a Spider-Man. I
so
was never really a Spider-Man guy when I was
what
a
was
kid.
another one?
I would have accepted a few different answers. I would have accepted SpongeBob. Um, I would have accepted Bob the Builder growing up, toddler. I love Bob the Builder. Total Drama Island, my favorite shows. Um, Regular Show, I loved Regular Show. A lot of Cartoon Network shows. Honestly. You could have said a few different things, but not Spectacular Spider-Man. That wasn't necessarily one. All right, what's your question?
Wait, don't I gotta eat the thing? Oh no.
No, we'll eat it at the same time if I get it wrong. If not, I just get to watch you eat it.
All right, I see. What was my favorite show from Cartoon Network?
Steven Universe.
Okay, yeah, that was I feel like I should have made mine harder. Like top three was like that.
That's fair. Maybe mine was too difficult.
No, I get it. It's fine. It's fine. I'll eat, but I need to eat.
Why have I put it that there? So you
Okay,
can
what is this?
grab your win. Because some of these sauces are a little runny. So just get a good one. Do it over the paper.
Okay.
Don't be lame.
What you mean, don't be lame?
Put some sauce on there.
I'm gonna put this on there.
Pour that thing in your
Oh,
mouth.
this is like open.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good amount.
I think that's good. Hey, this is actually a good one. This is a classic maple edition.
Yeah, I wasn't a reaction. All right. Yeah.
All right. But I don't have to. I will just take chicken though, because I could use it.
You are not helping these allegations.
So good.
Okay.
Okay. What do I need from you? Let's see. I've talked about this one here on TikTok. What's my favorite horror movie?
Ooh, I don't know if I know this one. I don't know what your favorite horror.
And I'll give you a hint. It's not something that's like common. It's kind of a cult following. Kind of crazy.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. All right, you're safe. Give me one.
Great. What is my favorite character from DC?
The Flash.
No.
What?
That is not the Flash. No.
Is it Batman?
No.
Superman?
No.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think this is obvious.
It is
I
obvious.
texted you earlier about it. My favorite pop that I have in my collection.
It's Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay. This is tropical hot sauce picante tropicale. Interesting about this is that it's made with banana. So I'm glad you got this one right because
I'm allergic to bananas.
you couldn't have had this anyways. They're hard.
I love how we don't have any drink down here, guys. So if these actually do kill us,
Nope. We just gotta go for it.
we drunk all of our.
Okay.
Is that a good enough?
It's thick. It's a thick sauce.
No, you should have just bit the tip where the hot sauce was. Now you get like the rest of the chicken in your mouth. It's kind of like cheating.
KFC chicken is good though. It's juicy. It's got a kick. That one's hot. It's good though. Very tropical.
Okay.
You want to try it?
I'll try it later.
I wouldn't recommend it. Okay. I've given very few 10 out of 10s. The perfect movie is a strange concept. Name 2 movies that I consider non-Marvel that I consider 10 out of 10s.
Ooh, I don't know if I know. Huh. Non-Marvel that 10 out of 10. This is hard. I don't know if like.
I will say I name dropped 2 during our conversation during top 2, bottom 2, which you check out on TikTok. I name dropped 2 when we were recording that.
I don't think you would find Finding Nemo to be a
No.
10 out of 10 movie. The Dark Knight Rises. Is that one of them?
That's one of them.
Okay. And let's see. What else?
I have to tap you out here in a second. Give me an answer. Give me a movie.
I don't know.
I would have expected The Dark Knight. The Dark
Really?
Knight and The Dark Knight Rises.
That's crazy. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
What are my 2 favorite seasons of the year?
Winter is one. Can I take that back?
No.
Winter is one. Winter and spring.
Wrong.
What is it?
It's fall.
And winter?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Winter and fall.
You got a cold heart. You're into the cold seasons.
That's just crazy.
All right, grab some chicken.
This one is like very. This one just looks wet.
Yeah, this concerns me. I opened this just a little bit ago.
It looks like death.
This is not traditional, but personal. What does that mean?
Oh no!
Cyclone Gold. Super spicy and extra tingly. Look.
Okay, you got a little thing on it. That's good.
I'll go first. Oh.
So we'll just do it at the same time.
It's not as runny as I thought it'd be.
We'll just do it at the same time. I want some spice, but I'm putting a lot on there.
You gotta save your palate, because when we do these later sauces, we don't have milk down here. Like,
I think it's covered.
this thing is drowning in sauce.
All right, ready?
Cheers. I don't like that. I'm more disappointed that it's not super spicy.
No, wait, it sneaks up on you. It's sneaking. It's sneaking.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, I feel fine. Next question. You gotta start getting these right, man.
What time is it?
Why?
I just want to know. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, it's fine.
Oh, I have to right here. It's 8.
No, I know. I saw it on my laptop.
Okay. What was the first MCU movie I saw in theaters?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, I'll give you another try. Go. Later.
Later after Guardians of the Galaxy?
That's
What?
freaking hot. What? The heat's still there.
Wait, what?
It
wasn't a
No. Guardians of the Galaxy is the movie that introduced me to the MCU, but I had it on Blu-ray. Got it on Blu-ray. The first one I saw in theaters was after.
I don't know that one.
Captain America: Civil War. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would have guessed that. Let's see. Who are my first YouTubers I ever got into?
Dwayne and Jazz?
First 3.
Dwayne and Jazz. First 3?
Mm-hmm.
Burleezy. I don't know who the other one is. Is it Corey Kenshin?
Mm-hmm.
Who is it?
I didn't start watching Corey Kenshin until I was later.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It was Jacksepticeye, Dwayne Jazz, and Burleezy.
Yeah, Jacksepticeye. That was a big one. I should have guessed that. That makes sense.
You were both wrong.
We got Pico Rico. Look at that little cat screaming on the hot sauce.
Good thing this isn't going on TikTok because you would tear us to shreds.
Oh, it'll go on TikTok.
I just said this segment will go on TikTok. The one.
Yeah, but this stuff will go on TikTok too, one way or another. All right, you might want to start calming down because it's gonna get hot.
About that spice life. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I like that one. That's why I had it open because I've had it before. We can handle that.
I'm gonna have to steal some of these.
Yeah, I'm never seeing these sauces again. He takes things all the time; they'll just disappear.
That was a while ago. I'm a new man.
Remember the Hattie Harmony book?
Yeah, I still have that. I'll give it back to you.
We're running out of
It's not like
chicken.
you were just reading that on the daily.
Number 5. What was the name of the first ever character I played on stage?
Because 12th Night wasn't your first show, was it?
No.
No. It was that show that you did with Jack, right? Where you played the same.
No, it was even before that.
Really? Then I don't know this.
I'll tell you the show because I don't even think you're going to get the character then.
Yeah, I'm not.
The Little Prince was the first show that I did.
Yeah, I know it shows how you didn't play Little Prince.
I wore a hat.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Conceited Man.
Yeah, I never would have got that.
All right. Luckily for you, it's going to be Los Calientes Barbacoa, which is a good one.
What is my lucky number?
I know this. 13.
No. 19.
That's what I said.
You said 13.
If we run out of chicken, we might just have to start eating these sauces.
They're gonna be like, these dudes are looking for an excuse to eat some chicken. Okay.
No, I'll just pop this thing in my mouth. Wait. I love that sauce.
It's like a barbecue.
It's like a barbecue. Yeah.
Damn, that's good.
That is good. Yeah, that's a good sauce.
Honestly, nothing is as hot as that. Whatever the hell
No.
that is.
No. Remember when I was like, oh, that's not that bad. I still feel that. I'm
Yeah,
still feeling the heat from that
yeah.
one.
It's like in the back of my throat.
Never. I don't know who made this creepy red sauce. Never again. In the first ever commercial that I starred in, what was I doing?
You were on a playground
Yeah.
playing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was in a kitchen cooking.
Oh yeah. Dude, I was
What
thinking
about-
about when you were. I was thinking about like younger. Yeah, I know.
No,
that
it was a
commercial.
library one,
I
yeah.
thought you were like previously seen a commercial before that. Okay. What is the most recent show I've been not only telling you but Landon to get into?
What is your most recent obsession?
No, it's not an obsession. It's not. I just told you to get into it. Don't think of it as an obsession thing. Don't.
Clearly, I don't pay attention. Oh, Dragon Ball Z.
No. I've
What?
just been talking about that one. The Good Place.
The Good Place. Yeah, that's right.
This
That's
one is called Hot Sauce with Scotch. Carolina Reaper. Oh no.
We're at the second half now. Your best bet, man. Don't read these. Don't read these sauces. Oh, he glazed that thing. He is glazing that thing up.
Oh, this smells horrific.
I hate this show.
No. Oh no. Okay, I was over exaggerating. It's not nearly as bad as like.
Not hot, but it tastes terrible.
Yeah, it kind of just went down the hatch. It's not nearly as one of like the people.
Why do we do this stupid podcast? Bro.
Oh, yeah. But this isn't nearly as bad like the one on the show. Unless we haven't gotten to like that extreme where they start crying yet.
No, we're just built different.
Yeah, maybe.
We're gonna go through this whole thing without ever drinking
All
milk.
right, next question.
Bro, are we gonna be able to do this without a drink?
What Funko Pop do I want the most?
Oh no! Please, please. I know this. It's the Miles Morales.
No. True.
I can't like name it, but it's I know what it is in my head. I can picture it.
What's your question?
What's my favorite episode of The Walking Dead?
Season 9, episode 11.
No, but it's in season 9.
Is it not episode 11? Is that not the one where? No. What?
What episode? You tell me what happens in the episode.
I thought that was the episode in which Rick, like, he, like, that's the whole, like, impale. He goes through time.
Yeah, no, Herschel. It is that episode. It's not episode. It's episode 5.
Is it?
Yeah, it's season 9.
I don't know why I thought it was.
But it is that episode. All right, whatever that sauce is, get out of here. Throw it at the wall.
I feel like we have to like go to that one next. Like, even if we get the next one.
You know what's next, right?
What?
Now this is the organic version of what the people on Hot Ones consider the worst, the pain, the suffering.
So it's not the like they give us a safe version.
No, it's not safe. It's still gonna be hot. It's just the other one is made with like chemically infused things. This is made with like all natural.
Why didn't they give us that?
Because they don't even sell the other one anymore. You can't even. I have some upstairs, I think, but
okay,
it's too old. All right, my question is: in elementary school, when anyone asked me what my dream job was, what was my answer?
It was something like off the rail. Like it was something really weird. Did it start with an I?
No.
Start with a P?
No.
Did it start with an A?
What are you thinking? No.
Did it start with an A either?
No.
Did it start with a C?
It has something to do with a hat, like a cool hat that you could wear.
Cool hat you could wear?
Yeah.
You want to be a magician?
No.
I don't know what you want.
No. I wanted to be a construction guy.
I actually started with a C.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I didn't watch this back. I said it. Anywho, I guess I got that wrong. What are my top 3? What are my rank and order the Walking Dead Telltale games from my favorite to least favorite?
Okay. Number 4, The New Frontier. Number 3, Season 2. Number 2, the last season. And number 1, the original.
You were close, but it goes 1, 2, 4, and the New Frontier.
I don't know how to open this thing. It's like extra sealed. Don't pass me that chicken. You get this open and we'll. I'm so not looking forward to this, dude. I want you to know that I hate this podcast. I hate that we're doing this. This is the bomb evolution. Not to mention, these are kind of cold chicken now because they've been sitting back there. Warm up the chicken. Okay. You're crazy.
You gotta get that on there.
Alright, if you're doing it, I'll do it, but that's about the same.
Yeah. I think with the higher dip, the worse they taste.
Oh no!
You're really making it harder for yourself by reason like that. Oh.
Nah, bro, get out. Forget this. No, get out.
Yo, we haven't even made it to the hot sauce. But this is torture.
But I think now that our mouths have experienced it, what's the worst that could happen?
Let's get on to the next question.
Yeah.
We got 2 more questions.
Take it easy on me. Give me my ranking of the 4 main academic subjects: English, math, science, and social studies. How would I rank them?
English, number 1. Social studies, number 2. Math, number 3. Science, number 4. I was right.
1 and 2 could be interchangeable, but yeah.
Okay. Give me, what was my first ever Funko Pop that I got?
Okay, I need some support on this one. If I guess the give me like, if I say I got the franchise, you could say yes. Is it from The Walking Dead?
Yes.
It's Rick Grimes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get it over with, bro. Just ask me that last question.
What is my favorite? Out of the there's like this like subgenre of like fancy fast food lines, right?
Yeah.
What is that up here?
Clear the mic out a little bit.
Like fancy fast food lines, right? Like like kind of like Applebee's and Chili's. Out of those, which one is my favorite? Not out of Applebee's and Chili's, but out of those like that genre.
Don't you like Applebee's? Please, for the love of God, please tell me it's Olive Garden.
It is Olive Garden. Yeah. What's the?
During the audition to get into our high school in junior high, I auditioned with an original piece about what?
I don't know.
It was an ode to something. It was an ode to a food. One of my favorite foods.
Chicken nuggets.
No, guess again.
Pizza.
It's dessert.
Brownies.
Close. Cosmic brownies.
Oh.
I have this milk carton over here if you need it.
I don't drink milk.
You could just do a dab of this one. Is that a dab?
Yeah.
Here, dab me up a little bit.
No, I have to go.
He's a fair man.
This is the end of the podcast, right?
Yeah. It's a fair man.
Not all that hot.
I think it's because we killed our palates with the bomb. That was hot, dude. I was crying. Just because you're snacking on chicken, I think we should definitely keep this in. Justin, to end it off, let's, in honor of SAG-AFTRA, we're getting one through right now, talk about what the arts mean to you while you're fighting the heat in your mouth.
Okay. Arts. I mean, a lot to me.
Remember that you could win a bottle of that stuff by joining our Patreon. First 10 with the autograph Funko.
Oh my god, it's on my tongue. Oh my god.
Funko. Okay. Want the milk?
No. I don't drink milk.
Drink milk. You refuses to give it up.
Okay. My life is a series of events unfolding on top of one another. That's everybody's life, though. My sister, 8 years ago, she decided that she wanted to go to the school, to the school for the arts. Oh my god, I had no idea what this place was. But my sister went on a tour there, and I was forced to go with her. And I went with her, and I love the school, and it was great. And I asked her to sign me up. My sister didn't get in, but I did. And I'm forever thankful because it took me down this path, and that's why I'm in college now. It's what I wanted to do. So imagine if I didn't go on that trip, this podcast wouldn't exist. My tongue wouldn't be burning. I wouldn't be in college for what I'm doing right now. So, yeah.
So none of it was worth it.
No, it was all
The pain, the pain that Justin went through. You did it for this podcast. You guys have to like, subscribe.
my nose is running.
Get ready to step inside the fragmented zone. But
No
no,
napkin.
I don't know either. That's all I got. It's just wet because of the water, by the way. We did it. I'm glad I didn't have to experience that last one. I can imagine what you're going through right now. The bomb was hot enough. That's as hot as I can go. That's it. That's my max. But anyways, yeah, join our Patreon. Everything is in the description. If you're listening right now, go subscribe to our YouTube page. You can follow us on social medias below. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions, concerns, or feedback regarding the podcast. This has been another episode of the Fragmented Zone. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We'll get better. We're working on it. Justin, I'm sorry that I put you through this. We're going to do more hot sauces next week. I'll see you guys.